Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday live stream. So, what a couple of days it's been. So, let's just jump right into it because we had a lot of things to go over. So, first of all, I think everybody has a pretty good grasp of what's going on in the environment. And just perusing through our comment section, I can see that we've got a lot of people that are saying the exact same thing that I'm thinking. And then to answer Night Surfer's question, is the stream live? It absolutely is live. And we do these pretty much every day. Yesterday just had some things going on, couldn't make it. But I thought, I'll just take a day off. Nothing will happen. And here we are. So good news, kinda. MicroStrategy spends $5.4 billion buying another 55,000 Bitcoins. And shares slide. How much they slide? A lot. Here's what we got. MicroStrategy said Monday it purchased 55,000 Bitcoins for $5.4 billion. As the world's largest crypto was trading at all-time highs, which is pretty amazing, right? I mean, we always make fun of some of the people like, you should, the whole key is to buy low and sell high. And Michael Saylor said, I'm going to be buying the tops for as long as I live. And he is not lying. In a filing with the SEC, MicroStrategy said it spent $5.4 billion to acquire these Bitcoins between November 18th and November 24th, buying the Bitcoin at an average price of 97,862. Now that number seems crazy, doesn't it? But if you take a look at when MicroStrategy has bought, they've bought at 60,000, they bought at 50,000, 40, 30. I think the earlier ones were sub 20. Someone correct me in the comments section. But they just keep buying, and thank God that they are. And what does that do for them? Well, in the long term, it's probably going to make them one of the largest companies in the world as far as by market cap. But in the last 5 days, they're down 24%. So the question you have to ask yourself is, well, what the hell is going on? Because aren't we supposed to hear to HODL? And isn't that the whole credo? We're not supposed to let anything go. Never sell your Bitcoin. Well, that's for the believers like ourselves. It's not for everybody. You got to understand the world is made of a vast array of different people that are doing different things. My goals are not your goals and vice versa, right? For whatever else is going on. And we even see like other companies doing the exact same strategy that MicroStrategy is doing. Semler Scientific just bought another 29 million Bitcoin. They adopted a Bitcoin treasury strategy on May 28th. Company has bought 117 million, not too bad. And I think that more companies will follow suit, but they look at stuff like this and like, that gives us a little bit of cold feet. But you know what's funny? All these negative days get wiped away as soon as everybody starts to go up 30, 50, 100, 200%. And then all of a sudden, everybody's got the memory of a goldfish. So I was just going to say something funny. Just remember that, as I just talked about people's attention span being the attention span of a goldfish. And that's not us. We will remember, right? But that is what is happening. So the question then is, well, who's selling, Rob? It's a good question. There was a piece looking at Glassnode. Long-term Hodl'Ers sold 128,000 Bitcoin. However, institutional demand absorbed almost all of the selling pressures. We've entered the institutional cycle. Don't sell your Bitcoin to Wall Street, which is essentially what's going on. Look, I can't blame anybody. If you want to sell your Bitcoin, if you want to sell your alts, you want to sell this and that, who am I to tell you anything? I'm not your dad. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just some guy in a really great green screen talking to you about crypto, digital assets, and Bitcoin and where things are going. If we take a look at this, first we have to define what is a long-term holder. In Glassnode, for this one, it's anybody over roughly 6 months to a year. That's what they describe as a long-term holder. Hey, I don't make the rules. That's just what it is. And we can see that the LTH, or long-term holder, sell side has been greatly increasing. This has been since late October going into November, and we've seen some people selling. ETF inflows are increasing. And of course, if we take a look at the ETF inflows, sometimes I believe, let's just take a look. Hey, Apollo. Flows. Yeah, usually that's what happens. We're like at all-time highs essentially for the total net flows, inflows, outflows, net flows total. Almost all-time high, 464. I think the all-time high was just a scotch at 458. So you think to yourself, well, I mean, the net flows should help us, right? Somewhat, but there's a multiplier effect. So who's actually buying all this stuff up? And this is part of the good parts. You can say, okay, We know that people that have been around for quite some time. And if you want to say that these are long-term holders of 6 months to a year, whatever, fine. People are selling, they're going to keep selling. And as they sell, things are going to get liquidated. And when those long and shorts get liquidated, it affects the entire market. And then we see starts of pullbacks like this. This is normal. This is healthy. You're going to hear that phrase a hell of a lot too, but it is the truth. And I just want to remind you that as far as Bitcoin supply demand, 3,150 Bitcoin are mined per week now after the halving, which we just had not too long ago. So who's buying? Well, you see in green, those are US ETFs, the ones we just took a look at. In blue, that's MARA, Marathon, or the Bitcoin mining operation. And in red or burgundy or whatever that color is, that's bought by MicroStrategy. And that is a boatload going from 41, 42, 43, which is mostly the ETFs. And then, of course, here comes MicroStrategy buying another 55,000, 50, whatever it is, from 44 to 46. And then in blue, we got bought by MARA. So there is a supply demand curve, and we can see that there are people still buying it up. But guess what? As far as price goes, there's still more sellers than there are buyers. But here's a good part. This is a great piece from Into the Block. I recommend it. I don't have, I think I put a link in the description, but I'll make sure I do this later if you want to sign up for it. I don't have an affiliate link, so, good luck. But when we take a look here, that's not the one I want. Yeah, there's two I want to show you. This is just for Bitcoin. And on Into the Block, they have over, I think it's over like 500 different cryptos they have on their site. And you can break all this stuff down by network, ownership, mining, exchanges, flows, social, derivatives, all the good stuff. And I'm right here, right now, I'm in network and ownerships, or excuse me, ownership and all. Addresses by time held. And they break this down in three categories. There's hodlers, 1 year plus, cruisers, 1 to 12 months, and traders, less than 1 month. We know who those people are. That's fine. And I just want you to notice something. That in blue, these holders are 1 year plus. Obviously, as time goes on, what do we see? We see that the hodlers have been increasing because people like you and I are like, hey, we think this is going to do pretty well, right? And we're going to see as it comes to here, this blue line, 35.84 million, 36.11 million, 36.5, 37.79, 0.84, 0.92, 38.02, 30%. And we can just see that there are more people gaining on this 1 year plus. And at some point, the people that are holding down here, which you can see that there's a little bit of a drop off here. It's a little green area, the 1 to 12 months, 13.24 to 13.1, then 12.8, and so on and so forth. The people that hold between 1 and 12 months and less than 1 month, they get shaken. They don't get shaken out. I'm not going to go that route. What they're doing is they're selling. And that's what they want to do. Let them do their thing. I think there's much more gains to be had. And take a look at this one. How about balances by time held? Same type of thing can be stated here. Holders, cruisers, and traders. And we can see that over here, that sometimes even the hodlers have been going down because they've been selling a little bit, and then these guys are picking it up. It's the whole thing, and it's a whole cycle. So if you don't think that people are selling in the background and the credo is going to overdevelop and just become that big tidal wave that people will never sell, it's not how it is. I think there are massive more gains to be had. Me personally, I just don't see it as a selling piece right now. I know people probably made a killing selling at 99,000 and writing it back down to 91, 92, but we'll see. But because of that, and all the traders that are playing the games, you get liquidations. Last 24 hours, oh, this is just 520 million. Look at that. It went to 601 million. Hey, you're going to get wrecked. Longs, I appreciate you, but historically speaking, over the last 3 years, it's not been a good idea to long too hard. And people are. So now you got 600 million being liquidated, which again, people are like, who cares? In a market cap of $3.3 trillion, it's a multiplier effect. It's just how it goes. And then it's not just here, because when I think of liquidations, I just think of just Bitcoin straight, but also there's stuff like this. This is from app.ranger.finance. And this takes a look at Solana. And this takes a look at Jupiter, the decentralized exchange. There's this thing called perps. I was hanging out with a friend of mine yesterday, Ephraim, and he goes, yeah, I'm doing this thing called perps on Jupiter. It's pretty simple. I'm pretty much just gambling. And I'm just pretty much guessing which way the price is going to go. I was like, oh, it's interesting. Is it easy? Yeah, it's pretty easy. And then I take a look at this. I'm like, yeah, I get why. So this is the liquidation heat map. Solana got, this is the Solana perps, 85 million. Congratulations. They have Bitcoin. I don't know if this is just the perp contract, if there's some kind of bridge going on, whatever it is, but there's more liquidations here. And of course, ETH at 19,691,029. So you're looking at another 150 million on top of that, almost a cool billion, because who knows what else is going on. So it's going to be tough to get to that promised land, Valhalla, which would be 100K, but there's a lot of things going on, a lot of things that people are purchasing, and it's just how it is, unfortunately. So there are some good news, though. Like we talked about a little bit, you know, people are holding a little bit longer. Let the traders trade. That's what they do. This is from Van Eck. I always like them. They got a good voice of reason. I should have them on. They're very timely in their advice that they give. And one of their financial analysts says they don't see signs of a bubble. Van Eck's target price for Bitcoin is 180,000. I hate target prices, but whatever. Nearly double the current levels. And they state this: investor interest is rising rapidly. We're receiving inbound calls at an accelerating pace as many investors find themselves under-allocated to the asset. Let me say that again. Investors are finding themselves under-allocated to the asset class, not the Bitcoin, but the asset class, which would be digital assets. So let that sink in. He wrote, adding that while we remain vigilant for signs of overheating, a number of key indicators we track continue to signal green for this rally. And I would say is like, as far as interest go, we've had some pretty big run-ups. This is from Google Trends. And we're going to see that. And I put this as worldwide over the past 5 years. You can elongate that timeline if you want to. Just go to trends.google. And we're going to see that as far as trending just last week, I mean, we almost hit, not all-time highs, but pretty darn high. I remember when we were at just kind of tinkering along at 30. This is what people are searching for in Google. But it's not just Bitcoin. Look at this. Look how much Dogecoin. Dogecoin almost hit an all-time high. And I will say, I like Doge. I think it's going to go far. I think it's going to do quite well. I think it'll probably outperform even Bitcoin. And that's why I actually put it into my Roth IRA. And so far, because Doge used to be like number 13 or 12, and now it's number 3. It's doing great. And what else? Bonk's doing good. For some reason, it's beating gold and silver. And Pepe has slid down. Again, I know it looks funny to put meme coins in, but I think meme coins will do probably well. The whole idea there is to rotate them, sell them, put them into Bitcoin, and hopefully I can get like a couple of Bitcoins in my retirement account. Now when I can take it off, it'll be tax-free, baby. And that's what we're all waiting for. So that's what we have on that one. And then lastly, I will say, as far as like why I think Doge is going to pump, and I've said this many a times, I'll reiterate this whole piece, is that people have no idea what they're doing. And they're going to hear Doge all the time, and which is the Department of Government Efficiency. And they're going to be like, hey, I saw that. I saw that in Coinbase. I used to own that. Maybe I should get into that. You're telling me that Doge, the coin, is a government office? That's crazy. They don't care. Goldfish attention spans, they don't care. Listen to this. Listen to this little piece. It's pretty good. I like this one. Let me pull this up. It's like 17 seconds. Hold on. This is from Fox News. And when I was reading, I was like, are they talking about the coin for a second? But they did clarify. Listen to this.
This can be really interesting how it works. Ready to clean house. Some already celebrating the DC outsiders to lead the Department of Government Efficiency. Elon Musk on X earlier today. I still can't believe Doge is real, but I think it's actually going to work. With us now,
yeah, it's going to work. It's going to pump my bags. So that's great. I appreciate that. I appreciate Fox talking about my bags of Doge, and we'll see how it goes. But I think it'll outperform pretty well. And then lastly, before we get into Q&A, a couple of things to go over. There was this swirling comment that I kept seeing that about Black Friday, there's always a big dump on Black Friday, which if you don't know, that is the day after Thanksgiving, which is this week for everybody in America. And that'll be on Thursday. And then Friday, there's all these Black Friday deals and everybody goes crazy and buys a bunch of useless stuff. However, I was taking a look at this and I said, that's not true. So I took a look at the dates, time frames back into all Black Fridays, just going from 2023, 2, 1, and 20. I took a look at it, and you can see that, let's see, 2023 is November 24th. So you can see here, November 24th, Bitcoin was at, this is crazy, 37,000. Oh, those were good days. Remember those days? Those are awesome. But it didn't crash. It did some pretty good price appreciation. And the next one here in 2022, November 25th. Well, we can see that, I don't know if you remember this time. This was our time that FTX collapsed. So it looks awful, but Black Friday was November 25th, which was right here. And all you had to do was buy Bitcoin at 16,500. I know this hurts when I say it. I know it does. But imagine this. You're buying Bitcoin at 16,500. Now it's 91,000. And it didn't really do much. It just went, it actually appreciated here, had a spike, a little drop. And then we hit, I mean, what people thought was the awesomest thing of all time, $20,000, which had eclipsed the all-time high from 2017 on January 2023, which is why I still say nothing's really going to happen until two things. After the election, check. 2025, almost there. And the last two, 2021, November 26th, we can see that there was quite a drop-off here. But remember, we had gone from, gosh, in 2021, we had gone from a low in 2020 of 3,600 and something dollars all the way up to 64. So, of course, this was the beginning of the end over here. So I could get where they might think that, but it was just a blow off top coming down. And then lastly, there was 2020. Is this right? Oh my God. 2020, November 27th, which was right. Oh my God. Here's the 26th or the 27th. So that was Black Friday. And then off to the races it goes. So there was no 20% drop on Black Friday. So if anybody's asking that question, it's debunked. And before we get into the Q&A, I just want to remind everybody that I have a free website. It's 100% free. It's always free. It will always be free. And if you go there, this is all my best information that I can possibly give you. Share this with your friends and family so they can understand what crypto is and they won't have fun staying poor. Maybe they can actually invest into some things. Not financial advice, but this is just to help them understand it. If you go there, there's this thing called staking. And right there it says ADA staking. When you click on that, it'll take you to information about the DNews Cardano stake pool. There's a nice little video that pops up. It's about 23 minutes. It's a lot of fluff, honestly. I should probably shorten that down, but it kind of goes over like what is staking, what are the problems with staking, how does Cardano differ from other staking, and me personally, Cardano beat everybody in the way that they actually made the staking process work on Cardano. It is hands down the best format of staking. Sorry, it just is. And we have a stake pool, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm going to do an airdrop. There's this thing called TomatoCoin. And I always say that on this show. I've had the show for like 5 years or something like that. And when I try to like come up with like an example of a crypto product, I say, okay, you're in Solana, you're in Cardano, you're in Ether, you're in, I don't know, TomatoCoin. I thought it was a good idea. So we actually launched TomatoCoin 3 years ago, and I gave this to all of my DNews Cardano stake pool holders. So I'm gonna do the same thing again. So we're gonna see what happens with this. And I got right here, we're gonna do an airdrop. I'm gonna actually increase that 20%. Liquidity pool and do a pre-sale and all this good stuff. But it's a meme coin, just so you know. And we'll see how that works out. But yeah, if you're in the Cardano stake pool, I'll give you a bunch of airdrops. And we'll probably be using drip drops, and we'll go from there. And that is almost the last thing. And oh, shoot, I forgot. Lastly, I want to thank everybody who donated to the Protechos nonprofit organization. Protechos, if you don't know, in Puerto Rico, we have a big problem with roofs. Roofs collapsing, injuring people, killing people that are in their house, or they have a problem with just leaks, mold, all types of issues. Also, we have a problem with training people and getting good jobs. So Protechos is a friend of mine, and she and her husband started this years ago, and this is their 100% charity organization. So we did a video on this. This was on Sunday, and it was a good video. Talked about some crazy stuff, me and Jerry. And it was almost had like 30,000 views. And I think people appreciate it. You can go here. This is my donations, but when you get, I put a link in the description. You can go check out the website, go check out here, and you can donate. And like I said before, you just go here, crypto digital assets, exchanges or cold storage, and you can put anything. You can put, like I said, you can put Solana, you can put Cardano, you can put all Ethereum, Bitcoin, whatever else. And I want to thank the 8 people that donated to the cause. You 8 people, I appreciate you. For the other 29,992 people that weren't able to donate, I understand. Like, if you're having a hard time paying bills and you can't put food on the table and your electricity's out, I got you. Trust me, I grew up that way. It sucks. But if you are sitting there and you're thinking to yourself, man, I'm only up 500%, 800%, or whatever else it is, and you couldn't find it in your heart to give to a charity, I don't know what to say. So the 8 people that did that, and it was a total of, I want to say like $600. That's great. I'll match that. That's fine. But, there's this phrase that I remember. It's Eastern philosopher. I want to say Dalai Lama. He said, don't have any expectations of people and you'll never be disappointed. And that's what I should have done with this one. I think I had too much high expectations for people. And that's it. So that's it for today. Look, if you liked today's video, except for that last part, give us a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. When we talk about is time sensitive.